chant in call and response manner. So I shall chant a line and give some pause so that you can chant. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sah Biryam Karovavahai Tejasvina Vadhitamastu Ma Vishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om, may the Supreme Spirit protect us. May the Supreme Spirit nourish us. May we work together with great energy. May our study be vigorous and fruitful. May love and harmony dwell amongst us. Om, peace, peace, peace be unto all. Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mritorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om, lead us from the unreal to the real. Lead us from darkness to light. Lead us from death to immortality. Om, peace, peace, peace be unto all. Okay, so in our last discussion on Bhagavad Gita, we are in chapter 5, fifth chapter. In our last discussion, we saw Krishna says that how this knowledge brings about a permanent transformation in us so that it gives us a freedom to respond to external situations. If the situation is unfavorable, we, owing to the knowledge, owing to the inner strength that knowledge endows us with, we may say, so what? Instead of saying what, we may say, we are able to say, so what? That is the benefit of this Atma Vidva, the great knowledge about our true nature. In the next three verses, 5.18, 19, and 20, Sri Krishna speaks about some more benefits about Atma Vidva, the knowledge of our true nature. He says how this knowledge brings about permanent transformation in us. These transformations are not temporary ones. These are transformations in how we see, how we look at world, at things, at events. These are permanent transformations that Sri Krishna promises us knowledge will endow us with. What are these benefits of Atma Vidya or self-knowledge? Knowledge about our true nature. He says, verse number 5.18, a very famous verse, oft quoted verse. Vidya vinaya sampanne brahmane gavihastini shuni chvaiva shapake cha panditaha samadarshinaha. So according to Vedanta, our problem is not in world or in people. The cause of our problems are not the world or the people around us. Because in the same world, the Gyanis, the illumined ones, the enlightened ones live happily. Shankaracharya, in his another hymn called Dhanyashtakam, 8 verses of praise of Atmavidva, self-knowledge, there in verse number 10, he says something great about a Jnani, one who has got the conviction about their true nature. What does he say? He says, Sampurnam Jagadeva Nandanavanam Sarvepi Kalpadruma Gangam Vari Samastavari Nivaha Punyaha Samastaha Kriyaha Vachaha Prakrita Samskritaha Shruti Shirovaranasi Medini Sharva Avasthiti Rasva Bastu Vishaya Drishte Para Brahmani. So to an enlightened being, the entire world becomes Nandana Vana. Nandana Vana means a happy garden, a garden of relaxation. And every being, everything in this world appears to be Kalpadruma, wish fulfilling tree. That is, everything is endowed with bliss. All the water, all sorts of water appears to be as sacred as the water of Ganga. And every action becomes sacred. Every action appears to be sacred, full of meaning. So, the world remaining the same, how come an enlightened being sees happiness in everything, bliss in everything? So, Vedanta says the problem is not with the world or the people in it. So, Vedanta is not going to change the world for us. What it is going to change is our perspective about the world, how we see, how we look at the world, how we look at people, look at events. And how we look at people or our perspective about the world is largely dependent on our perspective about our own selves, how we see ourselves to be. They say the world is a mirror. We see without, we see outside what is within. And for example, If I am very much concerned about my hairstyle, when I meet people, I will always notice their hairstyle. If I am concerned about my dress, that is what I am going to look at people when I meet. If I am an emotional person, I will always look for the emotional personality in others. If I am intellectual, I will try to find the intellectuality in others. The world is, in a great sense, is a mirror of what we are, how we look ourselves. Not only at world, our perspective about God also depends upon how we think ourselves to be. Ramana Maharshi, in one of his hymns, Shat Sat Darshanam, he says that every being, every human being imagines God the way they themselves think themselves. If somebody is look oriented, appearance oriented, they would try to think of God as a beautiful being endowed with all the beauties. Somebody of emotional nature would try to project all the good emotions in God, and someone who perceives themselves as Chaitanyam, pure consciousness, also wants to see that same consciousness in God. So our perspective about the world, our perspective about God is largely, to a great extent, depends upon our perspective about our own self. And here Sri Krishna says, a panditaha. Pandit, not in the ordinary sense of a scholarly person. Panditaha is one who is samadarshana. That is, one whose vision is like this. One who sees themselves as Atma, pure consciousness. They have the strong conviction that na jayate briyate va kadachit. That is my true nature. I am the one who never dies, who was never born, who is eternal being. And about their body mind, they have the conviction that basamsi jirnani, these are like garments, worn out garments, which we have to ultimately give up. So that is the vision of a panditaha, a atmadarshi, a jnani, an illumined person. And since the illumined persons look upon themselves as atma, as the transcendent reality, the pure consciousness, what they see in others, they also see in others the atma. They know that the body, the mind, name, form that we see outside, which are different in different beings, in different things, these are only incidental reality. But the eternal reality, Atma, that is within me, is also within everyone else. So to them, to a Jnani, to an illumined person, the transcendental nature, the eternal nature of Atma becomes more pronounced than these incidental properties of body and mind. The body, mind, these incidental forms, names, and transactions become less pronounced, and therefore they see same Atma in everybody. Panditaha Samadarshanaha. Samadarshana means those who are same-sighted. Here we have to supply the word Atma. Panditaha Sama Atma Darshinaha. Those who see the same pure consciousness in everything. They are the real Panditaha. Atma Vishaya Pandaha. That is what Shankaracharya says. Panditaha Atma Vishaye Pandaha. Those who know their true nature. And that is the definition of Panditaha. And they see the same Atma in everything. Why do they see same Atma in everything? Sri Krishna gives an example. And these examples are quite varied from each other. They form a kind of spectrum. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane. So he sees the same Atma, or she sees the same Atma in a Brahmana. Brahmana is what? Who? A cultured, educated, decent person. That is Brahmana. In other words, in our terminologies, we say a Sattika person who is cultured, who is informed, who is educated. Such a person is Brahmana. And what that person is endowed with? Vidya Vinaya Sampanna. That person has the wealth, great wealth of knowledge. Not only that, that person has got humility. So that is one great thing about Indian spiritual tradition, that Vidya, or knowledge, true knowledge, should make us humble. There is a saying in Sanskrit, Vidya Vinayena Shobhate. Vidya, knowledge, looks good with humility. So how should we know somebody is really knowledgeable, has really got knowledge, or knowledge has really affected that person? It will make that person humble. And there is, of course, psychology behind that, because the more one knows sincerely, the more one feels that how less we know. That is bound to make one humble. Sri Ramakrishna says in Gospel that there are two signs of knowledge. Two signs of knowledge. One is Shanta Shabhava and Vinay, that is humble and calm, composed. He says about the recorder of gospel, about Mahendranath Gupta. He says, you have got knowledge because you are humble and you are of calm nature. So Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane, with such a person, with such a Sattika person, a Panditaha, an illumined person sees the same Atma in such a person. And where else? Gavi in cow, Hastini in an elephant, Shuni in a dog, and Shapaka, a person who kills and eats a dog. That is, in traditionally, they are seen to be belonging to the very lower strata of the human nature who kills dog and eats dog, a tamasic, we may say, a tamasic person. So a panditaha, an illumined person, is one who sees the same atma, the same transcendental reality, the same consciousness in everything, starting from a sattika person like a brahmana and cultured, educated person who has got knowledge and humility, in a cow, in an elephant, in a dog, and even an eater of a dog. That illumined person sees, feels, are convinced about the presence of that same inherent reality called Atma in everything. So that is seeing through the eye of wisdom. Seeing through the eye of wisdom, one sees the same Atma in everything. So, as samples, Sri Krishna mentioned all these entities. That means it covers everything. In everything, that person sees the same Atma. So, not through these physical eyes that we have to remember, not through these physical eyes. If the Jnani sees the same Atma even through their physical eyes, so to that Jnani, there will be no difference between water, a glass, or anything else. Everything will appear to be same. So not through this physical eye. The physical eyes will see all the differences. If the physical eyes see everything to be equal, that means that person requires cataract surgery. It's not a sign of Jnani. Jnani would see all the differences to physical eye, but through the eye of wisdom, we sometimes call it the third eye. With that third eye, they will see the same Atma which is inherent in everything. In Apadakshanahuti, Shankaracharya says that in a beautiful verse called Drishtim Jnanamayim Kitva Pashyet Brahmamayam Jagat Sa Drishtihi Paramodara Na Nasagra Avalokini. That vision is grandest vision. Which vision? Through which you see Brahmamayam Jagat, the same reality inherent in everything. That is Drishtim Jnanamayim, the eye of wisdom, the eye of knowledge. Through the eye of wisdom, one sees the same Atma in everything. But we have to remember this because we sometimes make this mistake that what about the physical eyes? The physical eyes sees the differences. That is called Vyavahara, transaction. In transaction, will see the differences, but from the eye of wisdom, we see the sameness. In transactions, in Vyavaharika level, we have to apply all the rules of morality, all the rules of differences that exist between the manifested personalities. Shankaracharya mentions this. This is very important for the students of Vedanta to remember because it solves many a doubts. He wrote a small text called Tattopadesha. In the last verse, verse number 87, he says something very important. He says, Bhavadvaitam sada kuryat, kriyadvaitam na karhichit, advaitam trishu lokeshu na advaitam guru na saha. That is, Bhavadvaitam, This non-duality, everything is same, should be in your bhava, at the back of your mind, at your subconscious level all the time, that everything is same, non-dual. Kriyadvaitam na karhichit. But when you are taking action, then you don't think that everything is equal. So things, people, events, they need different treatments, different actions, different type of responses depending upon the situation, person, or event. So Kriya Dvaitam, when we are dealing with the world in our transactional level, we need to remember there exist differences between manifested level of the Atma. Sri Ramakrishna says that although all are water, but all water cannot be used for same purposes. So in Vyavahara, in transaction, in day-to-day transaction, in our actions, we should remember these differences exist between things, persons, events. But these differences are superficial, although should be treated in that way only, but we should know that that Atma Jnana, that Atma, the same Atma, is inherent in everything. Because to follow the morality, follow the Dharma Shastram, Atma Jnanam is needed. The ultimate knowledge, the Paramarthika, the ultimate standpoint should be kept in mind all the time. That is why we should follow moral principles while dealing with people. So if through the physical eyes in transaction levels we don't see the difference, what will happen? We shall not differentiate between bangle, necklace, and ring. We would say everything is gold, but we know necklace is to be put around the neck, bangle in the wrist, and rings in the fingers. Although all of them are gold, but they have their different places. So this is one point we should remember about, that Advaita Vedanta all the time is speaking about seeing the same non-dual principle in everything, that is through an eye of wisdom. But in Vyabhara, in transaction, through the physical eye, we are bound to see the differences. And as example, Holy Mother Sarada Devi, she said, she equated Swami Saradanandaji, a direct disciple, monastic disciple, a stalwart monk, with Amjad, one robber, one burglar. She said, both are same to me. So did not she see the differences between them? Very much. She knew who has what qualities. But when she says both are same to me, she meant that same Atma. From that ultimate standpoint, both are having the same essence, inherent reality in them. From that standpoint, they are same to me. So that is the seeing the oneness, seeing the same sight, having the same sightedness through the eye of wisdom, or the third eye. And when that third eye opens, what happens? Sri Krishna says, Yahaiva tairjita sargo yesham samme sthitam manaha nirdosham hi samam brahma tasmat brahmani te sthitaha. This verse is very important from a philosophical angle. So from philosophical angle, there is a question in philosophy that is liberation possible while living, or liberation is after death? Liberation means going somewhere at some future time. Sri Krishna says, Sri Krishna clears all the doubt in this verse. Iha eva, iha eva, here itself, here while living, here and now. Taihi, tai means they. Who? Those who are referred to in the previous verse, the Panditaha, the illumined ones who have the same sightedness, same, those who have the vision of the same Atma present everywhere. Those people, they, iha eva, here itself, arjita sargaha, they conquer what? Conquer death, conquer the fear of death. How? How they conquer the fear of death? To understand that, we have to take the example of a wave. Suppose a wave is thinking, and what it may be thinking? It may think in this way: I am a small wave, a distinct entity. I have a date of birth, and I have relations with other waves. Like all other waves, I shall also die someday. The wind gave me birth, and the wind is going to kill me someday. The moment I touch the shore, I may probably die. This is thinking of a wave. Now imagine that wave is thinking this way, that I am a wave, the wind has given me just shape, and I am in reality water, which will continue to exist. I may lose the shape of wave, but as water I will continue. The sun may dry me up, make me vapor, make me humidity. I will continue as vapor. As rain, I will again fall upon the earth, flow into the ocean, and I will continue that way. So the wind did not give me birth. Wind gave me an incidental shape, but whether the shape is there or not, I will continue. That wave is now an enlightened wave. Enlightened wave. Similarly, an enlightened being, what do they think? What do they know? They know that this body and mind is an incidental thing. It came, it will go, but it is just incidental. Death means end of transaction. Just as in when dreaming or sleeping, my transaction with the world temporarily ceases, but it does not mean that I cease existing. In the same way, death means the stop or end of transaction with the world, but death does not mean the end of existence. When the mind and body will not be here after death, I shall still continue to exist. I may not transact with the world, but that does not mean I am gone. I am dead. because I have found something within which does not die with the death of this incidental name and form, incidental body and mind. So they, he, iha eva, here itself, after this knowledge, after this vision, after their third eye opens, arjita sarga, they conquer mortality, they conquer the fear of death. They see that samavastu, same inherent reality in everything. That is why they say every being, how can we infer that every being has the same inherent reality, same consciousness? Because everybody starts with these two words, I am. I am Noel. I am Bhaskar. So first two things, I am. I is what? Chit, consciousness. I am existence. Sat and Chit, these two qualities of Atma. Everybody says, I am so and so. So Sat and Chit, existence and consciousness, these two are same in all. Rest of the things are just biodata. Rest of the things are just biodata, are incidental properties which we take great care to explain to others, which anyway people will forget. So these, whatever I am saying, I am this, I am that, these, after the words which are coming after I am, all belong to either this physical body or the subtle body or mind. They don't belong to Atma. These are incidental things, but I am is inherent, same in everything. But we should remember there is a great temptation. If somebody asks us, who are you? Don't tell that I am Sthulo Shukshma Karana Shariro Vyatideko Atma Avastatrai Shakshi Panchakosha Vilakshana Satchidananda Sarupa. I am uh, not these three bodies. I am the ever witness. I am the witness of the three states. I am ever existence reality. Then people will run away from us. We may say, I am this, I am that, but in our heart of heart, we know that after whatever we are speaking, after I am, are just biodata of this body and mind. And they are incidental, they will come, they will go, they will vary from person to person. But the Atma, the existence, the consciousness, the Sat, the Chit are same in all. They see the same inherent reality in everything. And that same inherent reality which is in everything is called Brahman. Why it is called Brahman? Because Brahman, the word means the vast, which does not have any particular location. Because the wave has a location. Different waves have different location. But in the ocean, the water is everywhere. It is not bound by any location. So this Atma, the consciousness, also is not bound by any location. These, just like the wave, the mind, the body, these have locations. But consciousness, which is the inherent reality in everything, which is present everywhere. and as it is present everywhere, it is called Brahman. Brihatvat Brahman, the vast, the infinite. And since it is vast and infinite, we should remember consciousness does not move. An infinite thing does not move, does not migrate. But this is like the screen upon which the drama, all the drama is playing on. The screen or the stage that does not move, but things on it are moving, changing, taking different shapes, different, playing different roles, dying, and after death, one subtle body is migrating to another subtle body, another place. But the consciousness, inherent reality, that does not move because where it will move? It is infinite, where it will move. Like, for example, space. Space does not move, air moves, space does not move. Similarly, consciousness does not move. It is everywhere, the vast, the infinite. And what is its nature? Krishna says, Nirdoshaha. It is pure, that is uncontaminated. It is not contaminated. It is pure, sacred, this Nirdosham Brahma. And since the Illumined people discovered this pure, transcendental, sacred thing as their true nature and which is inherent, which is true for all beings, all the things in the world, tasmat te brahmani sthitaha. After discovering such a transcendental, eternal, immortal reality, they abide by there. That is, what does it mean? That after achieving, after getting a taste of this grand reality, which is nirdosham, which has no contamination, which is taintless, they don't want to identify themselves with their incidental body and mind. That is, after Sri Ramakrishna said, after having tasted sugar candy, one does not like taste of molasses anymore. So the Illumined people get the joy of sugar candy. So they no longer try to identify so much, remember this so much, with their incidental body and mind. That does not mean they neglect their body and mind. They take care of their body and mind as the temple of the God, temple of the Lord. But they are not obsessed with that. And they know this is of secondary importance. The primary importance, the more pronounced thing, the most important thing is that I am Atma. And the same Atma is present everywhere. So that is, and they know that even with the death of this incidental body and mind, I am not going to die. Yeheva Tairjita Sarga. So that is the second benefit of awakening of the eye of wisdom. One conquers the fear of death here itself, here and now. And what is the third benefit of being established in that inherent reality? Sri Krishna says, Tasmat te brahmani sthitaha. The enlightened people abide by, dwell in their transcendental nature. And what is the third benefit of that? This is also a good verse, and the same kind of verses with same meaning we encountered in second chapter or even third chapter. Here, Sri Krishna, as a way of conclusion of the Jnana Yoga topic, he brings this topic once more. This is also a very oft quoted verse. Na prahishyat priyam prapyo na dijat prapya cha priyam sthiro buddhir asammura brahmavid brahmani sthitaha. So the illumined person, even after illumination, continue to live in this world. And since they live in this world, they will be facing their life will be governed by the same laws which govern the our life. What are the three laws? Three laws that govern our life. One is desha, kala, and third is prarabdha. Desha means space, or yes, space. Kala means time. Prarabdha means our karma. Space means kala, desha means where we are living, that is our environment. The people we are around, surrounded by, that determines our desha. We cannot escape that, and that influence our life. Kala means time. That is, with time, our body undergoes transformation, wrinkles come up, joints we were not aware of, we come to know of their presence, so we cannot escape them. Shankaracharya says, Kala kirati gacchati ayu. Time is playing, and our mortality or mortal age, physical age is going away, means we are aging. That time, effect of time, we cannot escape. Howsoever we may try, hair will become gray, wrinkles will appear, and joints will pain. So the one is desha, space or environment, kala, time, and third one is prarabdha, our karma. Because we see that same two people living in the same environment of same age might have different kind of experiences. So Vedanta would say that is all due to their past karma, all due to their past karma. That even when they are living in the same environment, same place, of same age, but one is still agile and flexible, and other one is trying to find difficult to stand up once they have sat down. So these three. So Vedanta would say that whether Jnani or Ajnani, illumined or non-illumined, unillumined, all are subject to these three laws: time, environment, and karma. So you may ask, what is then benefit of knowledge? If even illumined persons are subject to these three laws, what is the benefit? The benefit is in response. How, after this knowledge, an illumined person respond to the situations. That is the benefit. This knowledge gives us the inner strength to face any kind of situation. And they said, Sri Krishna says, Priyam prapya na prahishet. When good things are happening, the illumined person enjoy them, appreciate them, but are not hooked to them, are not addicted to them. Difference between appreciation and getting addicted. If I am addicted, I will always fear the losing of the good experiences. Good experiences gone, I will feel vacuum. But to a Jnani, to an illumined person, this happy situation, happy things, happy people are welcome. They enjoy them, but they know these things are subject to arrival and departure. And so they are not hooked to them. They are not obsessed with them. So they have a balanced response when good things happen, because they know there is inner fullness. So even things live, even happy things live, there is something full, purnam idam, inside, due to which this happiness, my bliss, won't be taken away. There is something within which is full all the time. And for that same reason, when they face unfavorable situations, when they face with the downs, they are not they na prahishyat priyam na uddejet. They are not so much worried or anxious when bad things strike them. And the example they give is of Ramayana, Valmiki Ramayana. Rama was to be king next day, about to be declared king next day. But again, news came, no, he won't be the king. Not only that, he has to leave the kingdom and go to the forest. Valmiki says, in both the news, Rama's mind was what? Na chitta vikriyaha. Rama seemed to be unmoving. Nothing has happened. Even when the news that he's going to become the king, his composure was the same as when he heard the news he has to go to an exile. So Valmiki says, Na chitta vikriha. At that time, Rama says, it is all due to prarabdha or karma. Karma is what? Choiceless situation. Situations where we don't have any choice but to face them. And without trying to put effort and time to change those situations, Vedanta would say, try to change your attitude. In both the ways, Vedanta would say, if the situation can be changed, put your time and effort to change the situation for better. If the situation is choiceless, accept it and try to put your effort and time to change your attitude towards that situation. In the both cases, effort is needed, dejection won't help you. And jnana, the knowledge about our true natures, gives us that inner strength to face the choiceless situation. That is why Atmavid, he says, Atmavid, that is Brahmavid, na prahishat priyam prapyo, are not carried away when good things happen, and the same way are not too much bothered when bad things happen. Whether it is ups and downs, favorable or unfavorable, they remain composed. Their response remained balanced. That is the third benefit of jnana. And that jnana gives a firm conviction. Sthira buddhi, Sri Krishna says. Sthira means firm, buddhi means here knowledge, conviction. What do we mean by that? A doubtless knowledge about our true nature, which is not affected by the changing circumstances. That is sthira buddhi and asammuraha. That is, they never lose sight of this knowledge. We may have intellectual conviction about that we are not this body and mind, but when we need them most, that knowledge may not be accessible to us, may not come to our help. But one who has realized the Atman within, they are asammura, they are spontaneous. They never lose sight of that knowledge, that nothing really matters too much to them because they have an inner fullness. As we see in the life of Sri Ramakrishna, at the end, that also shows that even the Gyanis like Sri Ramakrishna, Ramana Maharshi, they are not immune from so-called physical suffering. We see Sri Ramakrishna suffering cancer. But one day, his disciple Samit Turiyananda, later Samit Turiyananda, said that, Sir, although you are having cancer and such an advanced stage of cancer, I see that within you are living in bliss. Is not it true? Then Sri Ramakrishna says, that rascal has got me. That rascal has got me. That is, their firm conviction, firm experience of their true nature, that this physical body and mind, the incidental things, they have, let them have their suffering, their joy, but the real me, the real self, they are not tainted in the least by these things. So to sum up, in these three verses, Sri Krishna speaks about three benefits of Atmavidya or self-knowledge. What happens to an illumined person who gets the conviction or the experience that they are beyond body and mind, they are an indestructible reality which is eternal. So three benefits. First is they become same-sighted. They see the same Atma, same inherent reality in every being, in everything through the eye of wisdom. Number two, they conquer the fear of death because they know that the end of transaction with the world is not end of existence. Number three, they become balanced in their response to ups and downs of life because of their inner fullness. These three benefits, Sri Krishna, these are permanent benefits. These are not temporary benefits, they are permanent, and it changes the ways we look at the world and things and people around us. And in the next few verses of the same chapter, Sri Krishna would speak about the uninterrupted supply of bliss, uninterrupted supply, USH, uninterrupted supply of happiness for an illumined person. That we shall see in our next discussion on Bhagavad Gita 4 weeks from now. And with that, we shall conclude chapter 5 of Bhagavad Gita. Now we shall chant the ending chants, and then I can uh, take up a few questions or hear your comments or take your feedback, any corrective feedback. All are welcome. First, let us chant. So this also will be in call and response. Om Madhuvatharitayate Madhuksharanti Sindhavaha Madhvirna Shantoshadhihi Madhunaktam Utoshasi Madhumat Parthivagam Rajaha Madhudvau Astuna Pita Madhumano Vanaspatir मधुमागम अस्तु सूर्यः माध्वीर्गावो भवन्तु नः ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः Sweet blow the winds, and the oceans give forth blessedness. May the herbs and plants bring us health and happiness. Sweet unto us be the nights and dawns. May every particle of Mother Earth be charged with blessing. May the heavens shower us with benediction. Sweet unto us be the noble forest trees. Sweet unto us be the shining sun. Sweet unto us be all living creation. Om, sweetness, harmony, peace.